Welcome to Friday Takeaway. I'm Charlotte Chong, joined by Khoo Chuang. Now, Chuang, today, Friday the 13th, Malaysian market has been actually down for the week. It has down 4 to 5% from a month earlier, and oil volatility is not helping either. Oil was trading at about US 47 over US dollar a barrel.
Yeah, the oil actually is not the cause. It's actually the rest of the world, and the fact that Malaysia is probably the worst performing market in the whole region in the last 1 month. But the thing is, moving on to the Bank Negara Governor, Datuk Mohamed Ibrahim, he's spoken for the first time, and it was a spread of good news. He talked about how GDP was marked at 4.2%, better than expectations of 4.1%. So the Malaysian economy, although down from 5.7% a year ago, is still not bad, all things considered.
But it is actually the slowest economic growth in 6.5 years. But that beat expectations, like what you say, 4.2%. Expectation consensus actually estimated, suggested 4.1% growth in first quarter of this year.
That's right. So moving on to more specific corporate matters, and in Malaysia, LBS Bina, the mid-range affordable property developer, tried to take ML Global private at 56 cents a share. Of course, the independent advisor didn't think it was such a good idea, said it was not a good deal and not fair, not reasonable, so have
asked the investors to reject.
To stay away. Yeah, so I mean,
it's such a huge difference because 56 cents a share and their fair value is 65 cents a share.
65 cents a share. So, I mean, why are they wasting our time?
It was last traded at about 56.5 cents anyway. So
that's right. Okay, let's move along to Instagram's new logo. Charlotte, you saw, I saw this on my phone. I was wondering, who in heaven's name does this app belong to? It was Instagram. Why did they change it?
Do you like it?
No, I don't like it.
I hate it. Like just like Uber logo, Apple logo. I think the newest one doesn't seem as pretty as the previous one. Apple is still fine because I only came to know Apple, that silver logo, when I'm using Apple. You know what I mean? So it's like when we say we like changes so much, we actually deep down we actually hate it.
Well, hate is a very strong word. But when I saw the new Uber logo, and there was this little mosquitoes crawling around, I was like, what is wrong with this new logo? It's got little bits and bobs crawling all over it.
So like what Nadia said, we are still nostalgic people, and I think those who knew the previous logo would oppose it because they are not the next generation users, but because they learn how to like the next logos.
That's right. And just very quickly as well, Rodrigo Duterte, the new president of the Philippines, he's become the new leader. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, of course, right? Yeah.
So, and the last thing is Queen Elizabeth was actually offended by Chinese official during President Xi Jinping state visit last year. Did you see the footage?
Yeah, it's not the first time she's called a Chinese rude, by the way.
Yeah, so it was actually
she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
So the footage was actually blocked in BBC TV in China.
That's
so
like
nobody could actually see it in China.
Yeah, exactly.
So now let's move along to KLCI. KLCI actually dropped 1.3% to 1,628.26 points today. Now for the week, it dropped 1.3%, like I say. Stock that moved today: down CIMB, Sime Darby Petchem, up EForce Goldies, HL Industries. Overall, FBL KLCI to date, it has been pretty shitty.
Yeah, we've had a really bad slump the last month. We're down about 5%. We're the worst performing market in Southeast Asia this period. Thailand is up, Vietnam is up, Philippines is up, Indonesia is up. We're the only regional index which is down on the year, down 2.5%. Whole confidence factors, the 1MDB double debt default, not a sovereign debt default, but a debt default nonetheless. The fact that we are still trying to deal with this whole fiscal issue, and we may not be able to meet our fiscal debt targets.
We're going to talk more about 1MDB later. Now let's look at the regional, Asia region. A sea of red we saw in the region today. Hang Seng Index dropped the most. It fell almost 1% to 19,719 points. Nikkei also down as well, 1.41% to 16,412 points.
That's right. America, of course, was weighing. Corporate earnings there not very good and haven't been good for the last few quarters. Apple, of course, had a terrible set of earnings, and clearly the market is taking their lead, being, of course, the country's biggest company by market capitalization.
Now let's move along to Brent crude oil. It fell actually by 1% on stronger dollar, but still traded above $40 a barrel. It was at about 47.6 today.
Yeah, we saw how the ringgit's now just below 4 ringgit to the dollar.
4.06.
4.07. Yeah, And it's bad. It's really bizarre because oil is at 45, 46 bucks per barrel. The International Energy Agency has said that we're going to be reaching some kind of rebalancing point at this point in time, which is actually quite good for the oil markets. But the ringgit is still doing so badly. It's really because of our ongoing dispute with
1MDB,
yeah.
which we are going to talk about it later, of course. Now let's move along to our new president in the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte. He is actually a Filipino lawyer, a politician, and he will be the next president.
Yeah, I know he's like Trump he is the Trump of the East. He's insulted women, he's insulted the Pope, he's admitted to murdering people. But the thing is, when you look beyond the hyperbole, he's actually done some good things despite all the bluster. He's actually been a vehement and vigorous opponent of corruption. He's promised to stamp out corruption among the whole civil service. He's actually a big advocate of women's rights as well as LGBT rights.
Yeah. So what happened was he has been serving Davao City for 22 years. He's the longest serving mayor in the Philippines. So he actually turned this city to the most peaceful city in the whole Southeast Asia.
Yeah, mad, right? But if you look at him, he's a bit of a psycho because he rides around on this Harley Davidson. He's got a few machine guns. He's admitted to killing people. In an interview with Time, and I think this is on the John Oliver show. The interviewer asked him, have you killed people? And he goes, yeah. When was the most recent time you killed someone? He goes, oh, I think last week I maybe killed three
of them.
people,
Yes, I saw that show as well.
And then John Oliver goes, what? How do you not know how many people you killed?
He probably lost count on how many people he killed over the past 1 month. So now let's move along to the last topic that we are going to talk about. 1MDB, happy. Now, 1MDB bond payments default do not amount to a sovereign default. So what happened was Bank Negara governor actually said that he is confident that the government will honour all its debt obligations related to 1MDB issue.
That's right. So what's happened actually is we've got this bond which is payable by 1MDB and its partner IPIC. 1MDB and IPIC are now at loggerheads. And as a result of the contractual, arguments, I think IPIC has actually paid on behalf of 1MDB for now, but it's not actually a sovereign credit default according to S&P. But it is an issue in terms of who's going to end up paying for all this money, because if you look at it, Moody's have analysed the situation, and they reckon that the Malaysian taxpayer might actually have to settle up to $6 billion. $6 billion.
So where are we going to get this money?
Exactly.
So what happened was Bank Negara government said that they are going to repatriate, 1MDB going to repatriate about $1.83 billion from overseas, but they didn't impose a deadline for 1MDB to repay the loan.
Yeah, all I know is that this money's gone missing, and someone will have to eventually pay for it. And guess what? The Malaysian taxpayer. So that's obviously something which makes all Malaysians sad for the week, as it has been for other weeks in the past.
So actually, some negative thing on 1MDB as well. Now, 2 days ago, WSJ, Wall Street Journal, again wrote a report on wrongdoings of 1MDB. So we are still going to wait and see what happened next. Bank Negara Malaysia, what are they going to do with this new governor coming online?
Yeah, just to point out that, the Wall Street Journal story, Riza Aziz, I think he spent $50 million to buy this 7,700 square foot, $34 million, not ringgit, dollar, I was going to say ringgit, dollar, duplex on the, overlooking New York Central Park. And
not just one property, but two properties altogether. So moving forward, next week we will see a slew of earnings coming out as well. Monday, KLK second quarter, Inari third quarter, CPI coming on Wednesday as well. Bank Negara Malaysia, OPR coming out on Thursday. And that's all we have today. For more, please visit www.thehmarkets.com or pick up a hard copy of the daily and weekly. Good night and good luck.